Hi everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about DC's own animated original movies, and I'll be talking a bit about which classic comic books slash graphic novels I would like to see be adapted, as well as which characters I would like to see have their own animated solo movies. For the past 11 years, since 2007, DC have released a number of different characters in their own series of original animated movies within the DC universe. Now, I've always said that DC seem to do better in cartoons and TV shows, so we're going to talk a little bit about which titles that have been out on DVD so far. The first one being Superman Doomsday, which was the first one, which focuses on death of Superman, which I think is one of the best ones out there, and I highly recommend you check it out. It's really, really good. And also we had Justice League: The New Frontier, which was an adaptation of Darwin Cook's graphic novel. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. It's beautiful, well done, and highly recommend you check it out. It's really, really cool. We also had the Batman Gotham Knights, which was kind of a tie-in to The Dark Knight, and it's a little bit weird, but the idea of an anime Batman is always appealing, so highly recommend you check it out. Also, we had a Wonder Woman animated movie. To me, it's quite possibly the best Wonder Woman cartoon I've seen, and it's so underrated, and lots of people should check it out. We've also had Green Lantern First Flight. Now, I would go on to say that this is what the live action movie should have been like, and it's one of my favourites in the DC universe. It's really, really cool. And we also had Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. I love this one. It's quite possibly my favourite of all the team ups they've done, and I've definitely put it up there with World's Finest. It's really, really good. We've also had Justice League: Crisis on Two Earths. Enjoyable, but I felt the animated series did it best with the whole evil Justice League versus the good Justice League, personally. And we've also had Batman Under the Red Hood. Classic. Enough said. That's all I've got to say. And for those of you who are not familiar with this, just watch it. It's up there with Mask of the Phantasm. It's really good. And also Superman Batman Apocalypse. It was okay, but it's more of a Superman movie than a Batman Superman team up. But it's quite good, and the highlight seeing Batman and Darkseid exchanging is quite fun. We also had All-Star Superman. The concept of Superman dying is quite interesting, so I would watch it just for that. It's quite good, and there's some fun stuff there. And we've had Green Lantern Emerald Knights. Pretty weak compared to First Flight. It was okay, but I don't think it was as good as the first one. I thought the first one was better. We've also had Batman Year One. It was good. From Jim Gordon's point of view, it was quite fun. We've also had Justice League Doom. The idea of Batman having a contingency plan to defeat the Justice League in the light they could go rogue was quite fun, and I quite enjoyed it. We've also had Superman versus the Elite. One of my favourite Superman movies, I think. Especially there's a little line that Superman says that might catch everyone a bit off guard. It's worth checking out just for that. We've also had Frank Miller's Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. Watch it. If you're a fan of Frank Miller, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's really, really good. And also, while you're at it, check out Part 2. Don't care what anyone says. Part 1, Part 2, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. If you're a fan of Frank Miller, just watch them both back to back. You won't be disappointed. And also, Superman Unbound. Love the way they did Brainiac. It's one of my favourites. It was really good. And we also had the Flashpoint Paradox. Now, Flashpoint Paradox, even though it says it's the Justice League, it's very much a Flash movie, but I loved it. It was so powerful. Now, this is where things start to get downhill. Justice League War, meh, it was alright, I suppose. We've also had Son of Batman. Son of Batman was quite good. The idea of Batman having a son is quite interesting, and for those of you who are not familiar with Damian Wayne, I checked this one out. It's really, really good. We've also had Batman Assault on Arkham, which is kind of a tie-in to the Arkham games, and it's got the Suicide Squad in it. All I've got to say is this is what the Suicide Squad movie should have been. It's really, really good. We've had Justice League Throne of Atlantis. It was alright. It was okay. We've also had Batman vs Robin. I would just check it out just for the Court of Owls. I mean, that's the highlight of this film, I think. Justice League Gods and Monsters, pretty weak. It was okay. We've also had Batman Bad Blood. Oh, I liked it. Some people didn't, but I enjoyed it. Justice League vs Teen Titans, it was alright. Not my favourite. And we've also had Batman The Killing Joke. I'd give it 4.5 stars because the Batgirl prologue was not needed. Justice League Dark, it was alright. I didn't mind it. And we've also had Teen Titans The Judas Contract. One of the better ones, I think, on this whole series. One of the better ones for me. Batman Harley Quinn. Good to see Bruce Timm's designs, but I was quite disappointed. Batman Gotham by Gaslight. One of the best Batman cartoons I've seen in recent memory. It's a lot of fun. And also coming up, we've got the Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. It looks interesting. And we've also got a 2-parter, Death of Superman and Reign of Superman. So that should be quite interesting. Now, with such an expanded universe and so many different characters, I always feel that DC tend to focus too much on Batman. Don't get me wrong, I love Batman a lot, but DC have a lot of colourful characters on their roster, and there's so many things they can do with those characters. So we're going to talk about which ones I like to see be animated. Kingdom Come. Now, Kingdom Come was a graphic novel written and drawn by Alex Ross. It's highly regarded, and rightly so. The idea of traditional superheroes no longer welcome is quite an interesting concept. I definitely would love to see this be animated. We've also, this one I'd like to see be animated, Flash of Two Worlds. Now, I know they did it in the TV show, but I'd love this to be a Flash solo animated movie. And what can you say? 2 Flashes are better than 1, and having Barry Allen and Jay Garrick together, I think would make for a really fun movie. And also, I'd love to see DC do a JSA movie, but only if it's done in the style of Justice League The New Frontier, because that animation was so beautiful, and if they adapted that style for the JSA, I think we could be onto a real winner here. And plus the JSA was one that started all this really, so it makes sense for them to give him a movie, so do it. I'd also like to see Superman Red Sun. The idea of Superman being raised in a Soviet Union and his secret identity kept as a state secret is quite a cool, interesting story. So I did hear rumours they might animate it one day. I think they should. I'd love to see it personally. Superman War of the Supermen is one of my favourite graphic novels of all time. The idea of 2 Kryptonians at full power just going head to head is always going to make for great TV, and we kind of saw that in Man of Steel, the 2 of them going at it, but I'd never seen it in a cartoon, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to do that. And General Zod is one of the top Superman villains. He's up there, and I don't think he's had an animated appearance, certainly on the movie scale, as far as I know. I don't think he has, but I think they should definitely do this one. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they can incorporate into the movie. You could do the New Krypton story arc, where Superman was part of Zod's army as Commander L. So there's a little story arc there you could do, and then you could have the 2 of them blow up. And I would love to see this. It's one of my favourites, and I think it'd be really cool to see that be animated. So I think they should definitely consider doing that. Now, also the next one I'd like to see animated is the Sinestro Corps Wars. Now, I did hear a long time ago that DC were interested in making this movie, but it's not happened yet. But I'd love to see, I'd love to see it be animated. You know, all Green Lanterns going up against Sinestro. You know, it doesn't get any better than that. And you could tie it to First Flight if you wanted. A Superman Beyond movie. I'd love to see him do this because, you know, a prequel about Superman, what happened at the end of Destroyer. We could see how he became what he is, and I think that'd make for an interesting story. Personally, we could also learn about what happened to Lois Lane. And while we're talking about Beyond, I'd love them to do a Justice Lords Beyond movie. You know, I remember the comic book which I've got. You know, was really really fun, and to see that be animated would be a dream come true. So DC would be crazy not to do it. So I think they should just go for it. Now, a Hawkman solo movie would be quite fun in animation. They could do it like 300 meets Gladiator, but on another planet. That could make for quite an interesting movie. And also Constantine, I think, would be a good animated movie, especially with him now a regular on Legends of Tomorrow, the TV show, and he's getting quite popular, so I'd like to see him have his own cartoon. I think that'd be a lot of fun. While we're talking about magic, a Zatanna movie. You know, I like Zatanna. She's been around for a long time. Not really had much appearances in animation. She had one appearance in Batman the Animated Series. She was part of the JLU TV show, so, and a little Smallville appearance. So give her a movie, I say. A Green Arrow Black Canary movie could be quite fun. Maybe you could do The Wedding, adapt it from the graphic novel. I think that'd be quite fun. And also maybe a Green Arrow solo movie. You know, you'd think with all the success that Arrow, the TV show, has had, why haven't we had a Green Arrow cartoon yet? I mean, we had a little short part of DC Showcase, but I think an animated solo movie could be quite cool. So I think they should do it. And also Aquaman, he's getting his own solo movie at the end of the year, and he's getting quite popular, which is quite surprising. So I think an animated Aquaman movie could be quite cool. You know, I'm very surprised it's not been done yet. So I think they should definitely just do it. And also a Martian Manhunter movie could be quite cool. I don't know what you could do with him. He's very underrated. He's one of the originals. Maybe you could do an origin story, but really go in depth about John Jones' origins on Mars. I think that could prove to be quite a good movie. So there you have it, everyone. Thanks for listening, and I'll be doing a follow-up involving Batman. So see you next time.